Hey y'all, this is Deb. It's been a while since I've been here and I've been really busy. Our primitive group is having a hen party in the month of May, and so we've got lots of activities going on over there, so I've been busy over there and haven't been doing any junk journaling. But I will be getting back to that, so don't give up on me. So what I'm here today to show you, though, is actually a sewing project for the hen party that we are having over again into our in our primitive Facebook group. And so I have made a doll that could a hen doll, Henrietta, that could also be a pincushion if you didn't want to put legs on her. But I've made her into a doll. Isn't she cute? And so I am putting the pattern, which is free, out into our files. And I want to go over those with you because I don't know if you are familiar with making dolls or if this is a new experience, but I wanted to give you as much information as possible. So I thought, well, let me do a quick video and show you what we got going here. So I've got little deals out here as reminders and I hope that I remember to tell you everything. So this is the pattern. So let's go over the pattern. It's called Henrietta Goes to the Hen Party. So let's talk about all the different instructions that I've got on here. Okay. So let's talk first about her party hat. Looks kind of like a fez, doesn't it? So it's really her comb, but I call it a party hat. Her beak and her wattle. Now, there are several different ways that you can do that. You could paint them. You know, when you sew, you're going to go ahead and sew around her, and then you could just paint those, which is a very primitive look. I stitched mine, as you can see. I just did a fill-in stitch, and I think those turned out really good. But you could also, for the wattle and the party hat, you could cut them out of felt, and you could either whip stitch them on or put them into the seam when you sew her together. Over here, for her eye, I've got a suggestion. It could be a button, it could be French knots, it could be beads, it could be an X like I've got here. For mine, I used a French knot, as you can see. It could have been a little bigger, but a black bead would be really cute. This is where her tail goes. I've given tail directions. Now, I used floss. Can't say that I'm necessarily crazy about it, and actually she really doesn't even need a tail. Not really crazy about the floss, and I may take that off because I don't know, I didn't like how that turned out. But you could use yarn, floss, fabric strips would be cute. You could even use feathers, etc. It means use your own creativity. Whatever floats your boat, whatever you think would be cute. Lace would be really cute. Or rickrack. Those would be really cute things to put on her as her tail. Or a combination of things. You know, like maybe some fibers and, you know, put some little beads on there. All kinds of things. Goodness gracious. You'll need 2 wings. This wing and this wing. They are reversed. Okay. So it says cut 2 wings, and then one of them is going to be reversed, and this is the reversed wing. So that you'll have one going this way, and you'll have one going that way. I happen to use directional fabric, and so it made it a little more tricky to make sure that when you are cutting, and I'll show you how to do that, when you're cutting the slit on the back, you'd have to recognize and think about that. So if you don't want to think, then don't use directional fabric. Okay. Leg suggestions. Sticks, knotted twine or knotted fabric strips, which would be really cute. Again, maybe even lace or, oh gosh, rope or all kinds of things. Would make really cute legs. Or don't put legs on her at all. She's probably not going to sit too easily. What you might do is, and I will put a bottom here. I'll draw a bottom there. But then that's going to make it more difficult if you're not a doll maker to stitch that bottom on. So maybe I won't put a bottom on there. And then you can just, if you put some, if you make a little tiny bag of like, what do you call that sand? Like pool sand, or that stuff that you use in like, those aquarium sand, and put it in the bottom, that would help. Then she would be weighted and she would stand up or sit up much more easily. So, but I think she looks cute with little running legs. She looks like she's off to the hen party. Okay, so where did I leave off here? Okay, this is the neckline, which is underneath this lace. Okay, that's important. It's also important that you recognize that this is not a cut line. This is a sew line. And then you're going to leave the bottom open to insert this, to turn it, to stuff it, and to insert the legs if you're going to put legs on there. Okay, so here's the directions. I'm going to kind of go over them so that you get an idea what we're talking about here. Okay, so you're going to have 2 pieces of fabric, of calico. Now, I used printed calico for her, but this could be muslin, or it could be a solid. It doesn't have to be printed like this. If you wanted it to be more rustic, you could use muslin or orchard cloth, or, you know, that kind of stuff. And actually, if you just wanted to make the whole thing in the same fabric and then stain it or paint it, you could do that too. But this is how I did it. So you've got 2 pieces of fabric, head fabric, body fabric, 10 by 6, right sides together, and you are going to sew at both 6-inch. So this is the 6-inch, this is the 10-inch, 10-inch, 6-inch. You're going to sew 3/8 of an inch at both ends. You're going to open it up, press these seams open, both. Then you're going to line these seams up. Make sure I'm on camera here, like this, right over the top of each other at both ends, just like that. And then you are going to press it closed, or flat, not closed, flat, like that. Then you're going to take your pattern, you're going to trace it onto freezer paper, making sure that you show that neckline, and you are going to press this neckline to this neckline. making sure that whatever fabric you have selected for the head and the body is positioned correctly. So, line this up just like that. Better scoot it over a little bit. It's not going to fit on there. And press this on. And then when you sew it, again, you're going to sew on this line. Okay. So what I do is, let me show you this. Really makes a huge difference if you will use an open toe foot when you are trying to sew. As you can see, that way you can see where it is that you're stitching. So I recommend an open toe foot. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is start down about 3/8 of an inch, back stitch or reinforce, come up to the line, and then go all the way around. Stop here, go down 3/8 of an inch, back stitch or reinforce. This little bit of a 3/8 of an inch that you've got down there is going to make a huge difference when it comes time for you to turn it. So it makes it much easier when you're turning it. Okay, so that's sewing this onto your printed calico. Okay, sorry I keep hitting my chair here. Okay, so these are the wings, and you've got, in this, I put in here, you put 2 5x5 pieces of fabric together. I just used 1 10 and folded it over, 1 10-inch and folded it over. You're going to do the wings a little differently because you're going to sew all the way around them, and then you're going to cut a slit into one side, and that's where you're going to turn it. Because, see, you've got it stitched down, and so the slit is on the inside. Back here. And you won't see that. Okay. What else did I wanted to tell you? When you're removing the... another thing that's really important. Use a small stitch, like a 2, when you're sewing these. What else? Okay, when you're taking off your freezer paper, be careful because you don't want to pull those stitches out. So, what else? I think I've got everything pretty much written down and makes and so that and they're pretty easy to understand. So, but I did want to show you how to do these 2 things, and show you the foot, the open toe foot. So I think that's everything that I wanted to show you. If you've got any questions, please give me a shout. I know that there are some of you that have never made a doll before or something like this. We have a lot of new members in our group, and so I wanted to do a really quick video to kind of help make those kind of tricky areas a little more understandable. But again, if you got any questions, please give me a shout. This is the pattern is going to be on our Facebook group, our primitive Facebook group in the files. So that group is Primitive Folk Art Quilts and Needle Arts. So if you want to join that, or if you haven't already joined it, come on over. we'd be glad to have you join us if primitive is your thing. So anyway, I think that's everything I wanted to tell you. And I'm sure that after I sign off, I'm going to remember 14 other things I wanted to tell you. But that's the way it goes. So this is Deb, going to sign off. See you later. Bye.